Alice, dear, what on earth are you doing?
Huh? What do you mean, Enid?
Well, this is no home to raise a baby in. Everything's a mess. Do you never clean up? Honestly, what kind of wife are you if you can't even keep the house clean and tidy? My grandson surely has no hope with you as his mother.
I'm doing just fine, thank you. The house might be a little messy, but that's simply because I didn't have time to clean up after Bobby this morning after breakfast. I was running late for work, so I needed to get him to the daycare.
Excuses, excuses. Anyway, that's another thing. Why are you paying for daycare?
So that he can be looked after whilst I'm at work? You do know babies can't take care of themselves, right?
Of course I know that. I'm not stupid, you ignorant little girl. But why are you paying a nanny when I am here? I would be happy to take care of my grandson on a daily basis whilst you are at work. It would be much cheaper too, and I could teach him all of the things he needs to know.
Look, that's very kind of you to offer, but I'm more comfortable with Bobby going to a daycare. My best friend runs the place, so I know he's good there, and it's on my way to work, so it's easy to drop him off and pick him up.
So what you are saying is that you don't trust me and you think I'm a failure of a grandmother. What lovely sentiments.
What? No, I never said that at all. I just think it's best if my son goes to a daycare instead.
Well, what does my son think? Surely he'd want his own blood relative to look after his child instead of some stranger who could do God knows what.
Marcus agrees with me. We both decided that it would be best for Bobby to go there.
I bet that's a lie. I bet you bullied my son into agreeing with him, forcing him to send his kid to daycare just to spite me.
I'm not trying to spite you. I'm trying to do what's best for my son.
That's rubbish. You've always hated me, so you just want to hurt me and keep me away from my grandson.
That's not true. But I'm not going to leave my baby in your care when you have your own life. You go out and about with your friends and grocery shopping and to the gym. Who's going to look after Bobby whilst you are doing all of that?
I'm sure it'd be fine. I'd figure something out.
See, I can't just leave my baby with someone who says I'm sure it'd be fine about his care.
Are you saying that I don't know how to take care of a child? Have you seen your home? Clearly, the one who doesn't know how to look after a baby is you. You can't just leave things lying around. Plus, there were dirty dishes in the sink in the kitchen. How can you say that is good for the baby? Well, because I'm in your house, of course.
Why are you in my house? How did you even get inside?
I let myself inside with a spare key, obviously. Gosh, you're so dim-witted. How long does it take to understand what's going on? Anyway, I've stopped by and saw how messy the house was, so I've cleaned everything up for you. Perhaps you'll learn a thing or two about being a good housewife if I show you how it's done properly.
Look, Enid, I'm grateful you cleaned up, but I really don't appreciate you going into my house when I'm not there. It's kind of rude.
It's not just your house. It's my son's as well. So, if I want to come by and visit him and my grandson, then I have every right to do so.
Not really, as that is my house too, so I get to have a say who can go into it, especially when I'm not there.
Well, I don't care. If I want to come and see my son, I will.
You know, he's not even there. He's at work. So you've got no business being in my home.
I've got to make sure that everything is in order for my grandson. I don't want him getting hurt or anything, which very well could have happened with the state that the house was left in.
It was a few bowls and a couple of baby clothes. I'm pretty certain nothing could have hurt him.
Well, now it won't, because I've cleaned up your mess.
Look, I don't have time for this. Please leave my house. I've got to get back to work.
I truly worry for Bobby, having you for a mom. I think he'd be much better off in my care. After all, you'd rather go to work than stay at home and raise him. No wife or mother should do that.
This isn't the 1950s, Enid. Women can do both now. I love my son very much and I like working too. I can manage both. Now, I've got to get back to work. Please don't be in my home when I get back.
But I want to see my grandson.
Well, I've got the weekend off, so you can come over then.
That's days away.
I'm afraid that's the best I can do. When Bobby gets home, all he's going to be doing is having his dinner and then going to bed. He's always very tired after daycare, so he won't be in any mood to play with anyone.
Ah, fine. But Marcus will be hearing about how you are treating me.
Whatever. I've not even done anything wrong.
You're trying to keep my grandson from me.
No, I'm not. I'm just setting boundaries. You can't just come over whenever you want. I don't want you waking my son up when he's sleeping.
Tell my son about this, though.
Okay, I guess I'll see you this weekend then.
Hey, Lois, I just finished talking to my mom, and she was quite upset with how you were speaking to her this afternoon. She said you were incredibly rude to her and that you were criticizing her ability to look after her son. That's kind of rude considering she raised me. Are you saying I turned out awful?
Whatever she told you, Marcus, really wasn't the truth.
So you're calling my mom a liar now?
I'm sorry to say this, but she has bent the truth with you.
What happened then?
Your mom messaged this afternoon claiming that I'm a terrible mother and wife because the house was slightly messy. You know it was a hectic morning today and that we both didn't have time to clean things up. And do you want to know how she knew the house was a bit messy?
How?
She snuck into our house using her spare key, the one we gave her only for emergencies.
But why was she at the house? No one was even there.
Precisely. All I said was that I wasn't comfortable with her entering our home when we weren't there, and I also told her that she couldn't see Bobby tonight as he would be tired from daycare, and I didn't want her waking him up. I told her that I was off this weekend so she could come and see him then. But then she started going on about how she should have Bobby during the day and that daycare was a waste of time for him. We both agreed that our son would go to daycare because it was easier for both of us.
Jeez, I know my mom can be a bit of a handful, but she really said all that?
Yeah, it kind of really got to me. What if I really am a terrible mother to Bobby? What if I'm doing everything wrong?
Hey, you're doing perfect as his mother. You don't need to worry about anything. I'll have a talk with my mom and set her straight. She shouldn't be saying those things to you. But you really are a great mother, okay?
Thank you, Marcus.
Of course. Now hurry home. Me and Bobby are waiting for you.
I'll be home soon. I love you.
I love you too.
You little witch. You've turned my son against me. How could you?
I've not done anything, Enid. I only told him the truth of what happened yesterday. That's all. If you don't like how things have turned out, then maybe you need to change your attitude a bit.
I'm the one who needs to change your attitude. I think you're the one who needs an attitude adjustment. To turn my own son against me like you did is unforgivable. Next thing I know, you'll be turning my grandson against me too.
I wouldn't do that, Enid. It's up to Bobby to determine who he likes or doesn't like. But seeing as he's only a baby at the minute, I'm happy to let you two build a relationship until he's old enough to choose if he wants to continue with it or not. But that doesn't mean that you get to dictate when you see him. Bobby is my son, so you'll have to stick to my rules.
We'll see about that.
What? What do you mean by that? Enid? I still don't feel comfortable with what your mom was saying last night. She seemed really creepy.
It'll be okay. She was just being, well, her. You know how she gets. How's Bobby? Is he feeling any better? Okay. Well, I'll message later to see how you both are doing. Love you.
I love you too.
Hello, Lois.
Hi?
So, you know how you were saying that you're not a terrible mother?
Yes, I know I'm not.
Well, that's not entirely true, is it?
What are you on about?
A good mother would have noticed that their baby is missing.
Huh?
Well, I came around earlier and noticed that Bobby had just been left all on his own in the house. Marcus had told me he wasn't feeling very well, so I wanted to check up on him.
He wasn't left on his own. I really don't know what you were on about.
He was just left in the living room. You were nowhere about. I felt so awful for him that I just had to go in and get him. Bobby and I have been happily walking in the park for the past hour. A good mother would have known this. She would have noticed that her baby was missing and she would have been looking for him.
Take the baby back.
No. Bobby and I are having a lovely time.
Yeah, okay, but there's just one little thing that I think you should know.
What's that then?
That's not Bobby.
What?
The baby you have? It's not my son.
That's not true. You're just trying to trick me.
I'm really not.
And how would I know that?
Because my son is currently lying in my arms fast asleep. I don't know whose baby you have with you, but I suggest you take him back ASAP. Otherwise, you could be charged with kidnapping.
But this is just an honest mistake. I'm sure if I explain it to the woman, we'll just have a laugh about all this.
I doubt it. You stole a baby. If I were that mother, I'd have you charged for kidnapping immediately. Just to let you know that if you ever try to do that with Bobby.
Oh God, oh no, what should I do?
Well, you should take the baby back to his mom. Then pray that she doesn't call the police on you, if she hasn't already.
Lois, I need you to help me. You can come and get the baby and take it back to the woman. She'll go easier on you because you've got a baby too.
No way. I'm not getting involved in your mess. You're going to have to sort this out yourself.
Lois, as your mother-in-law, I demand you to help me.
No, you're in this mess because you wanted to take my baby. I told you that if you wanted to see him, it would be on my terms, and you ignored that. If you think that I'm going to let you anywhere near my child in the foreseeable future, you've got another thing coming.
Oh, you're the worst daughter-in-law ever.
In the end, Enid took the baby back to his mom. However, she had already called the police once she had noticed her baby missing. The woman was hysterical. Enid tried to explain why she had taken the child, but saying that she was trying to kidnap her grandson instead still didn't sound good either. Enid was taken to court for her crime and given a fine and a restraining order. I also stopped her from seeing my son unless I was present, as I didn't trust her not to try and take him off somewhere. If someone sets boundaries with you in concern of their children, respect those boundaries and listen to the parents' wishes, as they are the ones who are looking out for their children.